Hello and welcome to a brand new 5 Hard Podcast live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. Joining me this remarkable panel that I've put together, we have to my left, Minnie Hunt. Hello, Minnie.
Hi.
And we have down below, there he is, John Dam Johnston, our founder, our fearless leader, the grizzled old man, the road warrior.
Great.
Hello, sir. It is an honor to be in your presence.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
By the way, Fred Sacco, I didn't stop by and I would do some AM radio. They wouldn't let me on AM radio, you son of a bitch. The FCC violations. That's what people worry about when they call me up and they go, could you do radio? Sure, could do some fucking radio. What do you want?
Fred was first. Fred, just to for the benefit of people who are just joining us, or worse yet, just joining us only on the audio format on the podcast. Fred says, I call BS on John's Monday traveling. He hit the portal past Dion's toes and landed in Hiawatha, Iowa, doing a hardcore Hawkeyes AM radio show.
Ooh.
So he hit all the black and gold rivals there, John.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right. Thank you, Fred. This panel I put together. Don't you ever forget it.
Slick. Very slick.
Oh, my goodness. John, it's great to see you. You've been absent the last couple of weeks, and people have noticed.
People have noticed.
We get complaints.
Do you? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm here now. There you go.
Okay.
I went to Lincoln. I had fun. It's the greatest place on earth. My sister
really
won't let
is.
me move into her basement, though, her hotel.
Why not?
Oh, my God. She'd have to live with me.
I mean, I spent a day with you, so I totally understand where she's coming from.
See there?
Well, it's important to know you went down there not just for the spring game, but there was the old CornNation tailgate on Sunday in less than ideal weather.
Less than ideal weather.
But how was it, John?
We Boardman showed up.
Not only did James Boardman show up, he sent us an email today. And
he did?
we got a lot of emails this week, a lot of fan art I'm excited to share.
Really?
With people.
Oh, this is exciting.
But James said that he foolishly didn't get any. By the way, James says John After Dark unrated. You're darn right. John's unrated most of the time.
Underrated or unrated?
Unrated, like, can't put a rating on him. Probably rated M for mature or something, like that. But James says, I foolishly didn't get any pictures at the tailgate, but here I am rocking the Nebraska Relief shirt. So there's James and we all stick together in all kinds of weather. So James, well, I couldn't find that shirt on the website. When I went, I was looking for, like the storm relief section. I couldn't find it. But that didn't stop me from making my very own purchase from huskersshop.com. So we have, I'm going to do my best. I'll just do this. A new black shirt.
Oh, yay.
And on top of that, I got some sweet. So I wanted some Nebraska footwear, but they don't have any like dress shoes. And I don't think I'd need to be wearing like Nebraska red dress shoes, although I could. But I got some sweet Nebraska slides. So
those are cool. Nice.
I don't call them slides usually in my house. I just call them flip flops, but they're all season, all purpose. So, Fred says John After Dark, kind of a scary thought. Back in the day, and Minnie, this would predate your association with CornNation, but we used to have CN. It was an inside joke, but it was hashtag CN Slack After Dark. John, you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
that was when I drank a lot.
That was before John gave up the liquor.
So 2+ years ago? It's been
4.
2 years, right?
4.
4
4.
years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Somehow
Time's
he
just
stayed.
moving along.
He stayed sober during the pandemic. I don't know how anybody did that.
No.
I focused
You know,
on learning my meditation and mindfulness to make myself more aware of my surroundings and living in the present.
And we're all very proud of you, John. But
how's
for
that
the
going
rest
for
of
you,
us,
John?
Nobody's going to call bullshit on that. Come on.
I'm just wondering, how's it going?
that works for you. But John, for the rest of us,
there you go. No, we got the Husker tailgate. I mean, we pulled it off. You know, Aaron got tents. Aaron brought we had hot dogs. We had, camaraderie. We had a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of multi-cells passing by. I got to meet Jarek for the first time in person. I met Jaden Friday. She came over from softball and sat with me at baseball. It was a good weekend. And then we got to watch baseball kick ass, mostly.
Which we will discuss. But Aaron Rostovsky says, I've only seen one CN Slack after dark, and it was a doozy. Fred says, where was I during that? Damn it. Drunk John online would have been gold. That was well before we were doing these live.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us on in that era. Golfer 1369 says Yingling, excellent choice. That's right, Yingling, the unofficial beer of the Five Heart podcast until a Nebraska brewery reaches out to me at hooch3600@gmail.com and says we'd be more than happy to send you some of our beers so that you can get our name out. Yingling's got a pretty prominent name. They are, in fact, America's oldest brewery. So if you're a Nebraska brewer and you want me to drink your beer and talk about it on the show, reach out. I like beer. And many will do the same for wine.
No.
No?
Oh, you don't drink wine?
No, I do occasionally. It's not wine that I like, though.
Okay.
I
It's
would
just straight
prefer,
up vodka.
No, I would prefer like a nice champagne or prosecco, something with some bubbles in it that's light.
Okay.
If we could have a Husker prosecco, I would be all set.
There you go. You wineries of Nebraska have been challenged. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Way too classy to be on this show. What the hell?
Well,
Look,
I made Greg a deal that when we actually get to meet each other in person, that I'm going to let him introduce me to Yingling. So I'm open.
Second Aaron number 1 says fancy names for White Claw. And Aaron Rostovsky says those sound like wines. And John, you had this one highlighted. Aaron says we had salmon.
Aaron's dad brought smoked salmon, and
Nice.
I don't know if anybody else had any because I took it. The hell with them. I'll eat all the smoked salmon you can provide.
I love salmon.
I didn't even swear at people. That's, it was a surprising weekend. Okay. I mean, Friday, I drove down there Thursday night so I could be there Friday. Thought I was going to meet Carricker for lunch on Friday, but he's a sought after human being. I'm not so much a sought after human being. And then, so I actually worked.
The Chatterfieds disagree.
I worked on remotely on Friday, and then it was time to kind of go over to the game. And right as I was getting ready to leave, of course, the tornado warnings started going off. And I forgot. I had been away from Nebraska for too long, and I had forgot the routine of tornado warning, go outside and look where it is. And it was surprising because it seemed very innocuous. And then you started seeing the videos come in on Twitter, and you started seeing a lot of destruction. I mean, it was way more than it seemed like at first. I guess you've been in those situations. You knew if you grew up in Nebraska, there's tornadoes all over the place, but to see it actually hit something and just tear the shit out of, I guess, Elkhorn, then that was kind of sad for all those people. in some of the most fantastic videos I've ever seen. So there you go.
It's the first time that I actually tuned in and watched on YouTube. They have all of these storm chasers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm just sitting there watching this going, how on earth are these people getting this close? It looks really dangerous.
I think a lot of them have, like Reed Timmer, I think it is, has like some kind of car he drives around that's kind of built to take stuff. But, after seeing a couple of those with the cars and the just right on the ground, I think I'll leave that to younger people now. When I was younger, I probably just drove into that shit. In fact, I drove under a funnel cloud one time just because it seemed the best way to get by it without getting hit by it, which worked. So.
Oh, scary.
Aaron, we've had to recategorize Aaron Keene as the second Aaron number one because he's so good that there's no second level of Aarons now. It's just two Aarons that are both tied for number one. It's a serious question. How is the cleanup in Omaha going?
I don't know.
Cool.
I think the governor actually asked for a declaration of
state of emergency.
Yeah, today. So, it seems like I know Will Compton put his proceeds of Heat's T-shirt sales toward helping with anything, and then Carricker was at a signing event I think in Blair Friday, and he put all the proceeds to that. And for people that want to buy more stuff from him, they were all going to help, clean up stuff. And I've seen a lot of things about where, we don't need any more shelter. We don't need any more this or that. So I think Nebraskans are helping Nebraskans pretty well because, let's face it. If you grew up in Nebraska, again, you've been through tornado shit and it can be extremely violent. Tornadoes are not fun in our house. My wife's entire farm got annihilated when she was I think in 6th grade or 8th grade.
Oh my God.
So when and they had to be in the basement and listen to everything around them, the world disappear. I guess it destroyed their entire farmyard, took everything but their house and above them. But whenever there's tornadoes here, she's immediately in the basement. I go out and look and she's like, fuck this shit. I'm down in the bathtub. And I don't blame her for that. I don't ever give her crap about that because I value my life.
Two ones from Aaron Rostovsky. Lots of volunteers in the area seem to be going fairly well. And then this one, which would turn most parents' hair white. And that's initially landed 2 blocks from his son's preschool, is Aaron Rostovsky. So I can't imagine So anyway, that's a very serious topic, but by golly, we're here for giggles and to talk about Nebraska stuff. And I got to scroll up just a little bit because when we were talking about beverages that Minnie drinks, Fred says, is Minnie drinking Dylanade in that 5-gallon Stanley?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which brings us to a series of
Dylanade.
Well, no, a series of viewer submitted photos.
Oh.
So this first one here.
What kind of photos? This sounds
well,
really good.
They're who's Minnie's favorite player and what lengths will she go to type of photos. So this first one is Dylan Raiola in the thought bubble.
Oh my gosh.
I was wondering
Crazy lady.
and just the particular, of all the faces that you've made in your time on the show, to go with that one is particularly.
Thank you, whoever did that. Yes.
So 2 of these come from Joe, and Joe was the one who provided some for last week as well. I'm gonna probably mispronounce his name. Liliakis. We'll go with that. Sorry, Joe. Fred's a big fan. Says, "Oh my God, that's great." This one also comes to us. This is straight from the spring game. And it's Dylan saying, "What's that, Minnie? I can't hear you. Come here." With his hand pressed up to the side of his helmet.
I was wondering, because he kept going like this, and I didn't think that he could hear. Like there was a problem with his headset.
Yeah, that's why he's responding to you, calling out to you. But you weren't there. You weren't there on the sidelines with the chain gang, so missed opportunity.
No.
And then this last one here comes from Vince Watson, and it's the free candy van with Minnie. And I don't know if you can tell, the license plate says Cornstalker 15.
Oh my God. It's an Arizona license plate too.
That's a nice touch. Vince Watson.
Oh, wow.
Great touch.
That is very well done.
Yeah.
So,
Free
nice,
candy.
some laughs there to start it, to get us back on track here. And we're absolutely going to talk about the spring game. We're going to break up our spring game. Not like we're going to talk about the first half this week, the second half next week. But Hoss Reuter was going to be with us on the show, and he's been out sick all week long, so he couldn't quite muster up, and which is fine. We've all felt like crap before. John, every other week he's taken the week off, so. But he's old and has a brain injury and has been dead, and he's been dead. I don't know if you know this. Never been to Europe. So check out the book. You can get it on Amazon.
Okay, so Greg is getting a check mark because he skipped ahead to section 4.
No, it's okay.
That's what we're doing now.
Section 2.
We're doing check marks. What does that mean?
I'm not allowed to, I guess, express the fact that we will talk about the spring game later in this episode, but also next week, because we're going to start talking about some baseball. I'm receiving demerits on my paper.
It's okay.
Wow.
I made a point to put it in there.
You did, and I thank you.
Nicely for you.
I appreciate that, but you should know by now that I'll get to all the topics on the format, but I'm probably not going to do them in order, and that's okay.
Hey, I can keep trying.
You can.
I'm trying to get you in order here.
God bless you. So we talked about the tailgate and the adverse weather. Obviously Friday. What happened there. We got a couple of wins on the weekend. We had a midweek loss, but we had a really nice bounce back midweek win. So, John, 3-2 in the last 5 games. You were there. You watched some Nebraska baseball, and I know it's something you love to do. So, what were your thoughts over the weekend?
My thought was beat Iowa, them sons of bitches. No, do you realize what is it? We this was only our second win over Iowa in terms of a series in the last 9 tries, I think it was. It's not been a good record against Iowa. I think they swept us the year before. So it was a nice win. It was a nice series win. And it was really good Friday to kind of, I don't know, just watch them look like they were dejected. And then, the Saturday game, they were dejected, and then they had to call it off. The guy came on the field with I looked like he was carrying a Star Trek tricorder and was like, lightning. And people were like, oh, you bastard. And that's because right at that moment, their pitcher looked so dejected. And it was wonderful watching them be dejected. And then, of course, we came back Sunday and then finished that game kicking their ass. And we lost Sunday in the 3rd game of the series. And what I found I think all of us found surprising was Iowa's ace pitcher pitched the 3rd game. And why didn't they start him in the 1st game? And Aaron probably has better thoughts on this than I do. But I thought, maybe they figured they were only going to win 1 game. So they waited until the 3rd to put him in. So I guess, it doesn't matter. It was nice seeing the baseball team in person.
Sure.
Aaron, if you're still on, who was the guy? Was it Columbus? I said should have look like a guy who should have like a series on TV as a detective in the 1970s. I think it was Columbus. Wasn't it Columbus?
Columbo.
Well, he just had the look of he would make a good detective guy on a show. And, the
Dick
Stone
Tracy?
looks like a guy you don't want to find in an alley that's pissed off at you. I can tell you that. And, it was nice seeing him in person. And they're going to play Minnesota up here the weekend. So hopefully I'll get out to a game up there.
Yeah, so on last Friday, they beat Iowa 7-4. They had Saturday's game was suspended. They picked it up on Sunday, and game one of the doubleheader on Sunday won 12-2. As they said, James Boardman says spanked their ass in game two, and I don't have a.
So Friday I went to the park and I was there for like 3 hours. I was like there 2 hours early because everything got delayed. And I came to the I walked around the park and I looked at the fans. Some people came up to me and talked to me, and everybody had a beer. I mean, everybody was, everybody that was of age had a beer. And over the weekend, you just watched everybody had beer. And I concluded that Nebraska is going to make about $80 million in beer sales from Haymarket Park.
Good.
I did not have a Runza this weekend.
Oh.
I was at the spring game. My friend Steve, who gave me tickets up in club seating where you can just walk up and get whatever you want, came back with a Runza, and I looked at him and I said, "You son of a bitch, now I got to go get one." And then when I went up there, they were out of Runzas.
Oh. How did they run out?
That's just it, isn't it?
Big
Kind of
crowd.
like thinning. I wanted to yell at the guy, but he seemed nice and he looked like a guy that might throw me out, so I didn't.
Aaron Rostovsky says they've had issues with their starting pitchers all season, so have been moving them around. Brecht finally had a good outing the previous Sunday, so they kept him there.
Come on, Aaron. You knew it was the only game they were going to win, so they pussed out and put him in the third game. That's my explanation.
Aaron had 2 homemade runs this tonight, waiting for his son to fall asleep so he could run to the. Oh, jeez.
God, you let us know.
Highlander Gun wants to know how much were the beers, John? I know you weren't drinking, but did you talk with anybody? Were they reasonably priced, or were they like normal ballpark beers where they're $8?
I think they were. Aaron, were they $6.50 or $8? I was going to take some photos of it, but then I didn't.
Did you take any photos?
I take a few photos of the field just so I could, here's where I was. Aaron has really good seats. By the way, when they get a strikeout, right, they get up and they throw T-shirts. And Aaron is a huge freaking guy, okay? He's like 6'9",
We know.
280.
We know.
He's massive. If you're going to sit with Aaron, sit to the side where they're throwing the T-shirts. Because like on Friday, I sat on the other side, no T-shirts, because he knows exactly what's going on. He jumps up, blocks out the fucking sun. I'm like, whoa, where's the sun? And then see that on Sunday, I sat to the inside of him, and I was able to block him out and get a T-shirt. I did. Whapped that son of a bitch out of the air so he couldn't get the rebound. Fought for it dove on the ground, getting him and getting that T-shirt away from that bastard. There you go.
John, why are you fat shaming Aaron?
I'm not fat shaming him. He's
first mini, and then now you.
Giant freaking guy.
He is.
Aaron says the beers were $6 to $9, depending on draws or tall boys. And Fred says, "Good job, Aaron. You caught Greg. He didn't read the comment all the way through." So, all right. So, winning the series against Iowa at home. Then on Tuesday, had to go to up the road to Omaha and play that team in blue. And like the 2 previous meetings this year, did not go so well. Losing to the that team in blue 5-9 or 9-5, depending on how you want to score that one. They just had our number all season long, John.
And we fired the entire coaching staff. And the coaching staff we had for the next night is just the most fabulous staff ever.
Well, what's been happening against that team in blue this year, John?
Well, I think here's my take on it. last year we lost just crap tons of midweek games, and they were losses against teams you should never lose to. I think this year we've lost not nearly as many, and we've beaten teams that we should. Here's the thing. Nebraska right now is, what is it? I think they're tied for third, or they're up and, at the top of the Big Ten conference. Their midweek games, they've lost a few. Obviously, nobody likes being swept by Creighton, and it sucks. But I think they're doing better than they have last year, except for the Creighton thing. Creighton, on the other hand, they win their midweek games and they lose their conference games. They have a losing record in the Big East Conference in baseball. So I don't know, maybe they're saving their best pitchers for us. I certainly think that they take the game more seriously than we do. And I do think that Nebraska has an issue with the bullpen, and that the bullpen isn't really sharpened up as much as they want. But then that Brockett kid just through the first 9-inning no-hitter.
We'll get there. Don't.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm jumping in the head. Don't hit me.
You break format, then you're going to get demerits too. So.
I didn't look at no format.
Well,
what?
That's a whole new. Jeez, you might get. She might throw you off the show. She's getting power hungry. Getting power hungry, so she might throw you off the show.
Aaron's got this. We are Creighton Super Bowl each season. We hate them, but don't plan our whole week around beating them. People get really pissed off when we lose. I mean, I get pissed off, but I'm not like, fire the coaching staff and stuff like that. And there are a lot of people that are. But then, can I bring up the next thing? What?
Yes,
not yet. No, because
why?
Husker Chuck says, and tell me if you agree with this, John. Huskers need to win out or nearly to host the regional, including the Big Ten tournament. I mean, that's
probably true?
But it's not really realistic to win out, is it?
You know what? They have Minnesota. Minnesota's not very good. Who are the teams on top? Illinois and Purdue are up there. We don't play. We have 3 series left, I believe. Minnesota,
Minnesota, and then way back Wednesday on next Wednesday against South Dakota State, then home against Indiana for a series, and on the road at Michigan State in the middle of May. So 3 series in a midweek is all that's left.
So 3, but the key there is beating the Big Ten teams. I guess for me, the teams we're going to come up against aren't that good at the end of the year, and win out or nearly to host a regional, including the Big Ten tourney. I think the Big Ten tourney is going to be a fight because it's just always is. They have a shot at it, but if they're going to have a shot at it, they're going to have the bullpen come together.
Husker Chuck's trying to make a play to become a new CornNation baseball writer. We don't play anyone in the top 5 except Indiana, Purdue, and Illinois finished the season facing one another. So.
Well, here's Aaron's chiming in too.
I gotcha. Don't need to win out, but would need to win or tie for the regular season title and get the tournament title. So,
yeah, I mean, we'll just see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Now, you can move on to the next.
What's the next thing?
Well, what happened on Wednesday night, John?
What is today?
Oh my goodness!
Today's Thursday night, John.
Well, last night, Jackson Brockett threw the first 9-inning no-hitter since like 1954.
The Eisenhower administration.
Jackson Brockett. I just thought, I found that hard to believe. Apparently, it's only the 6th no-hitter in school history. Mm-hmm. I guess seeing that it was that long and that this came out of nowhere. I mean, I don't think Brockett was one of our top pitchers, but he just had the performance of a lifetime. So
I think that's awesome.
I'm not the greatest baseball guy. Aaron, we do have great baseball guys. Aaron's good, but I know that, pitching has a lot to do with your head, probably more than probably any other position in sports. Maybe that's a little bit exaggerated, but I'm not sure it is, because there's just so much that goes into having confidence when you're on the mound and you're the guy and you're facing the batter. and, being able to keep your crap together and be able to, position the ball and throw, have your pitches and know what's going on and have all of that stuff together when all the focus is on you. That's a lot of shit.
Oh, wow. I was just, yeah.
Go ahead and read that one.
Aaron says Brockett didn't even make the travel roster a couple weeks ago. Dang. A little overlooked there.
So, again,
had a no complete game no hitter.
Probably.
I was just going to say complete game no hitter, all 9 innings, 12 strikeouts, no hits. I think 2 walks in there. Yeah, and man, at the end of the day, that's the end result right there.
That's awesome. Look at that. Wow.
I mean, I think that we'll just see how far the team goes. It's kind of like basketball. Don't read into doom and gloom if we lose a game or two. We'll just see what they can do. I mean, this is way, way better than it was last year. And I think there's, when we lose a midweek game, people just shit themselves and set their hair on fire and then run around like that.
Can you just describe that again? How is that?
They shit themselves and set their hair on fire. That's what.
Okay.
I just the visual is so much fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Husker Chuck says, as far as Nebraska baseball goes, we were great in March, so in April, so this could ignite the Huskers for May. I mean, there's nothing better than starting the last month of regular season play with a no. So,
yeah, when it's a streaky sport. So,
Aaron Keene says, Nebraska fans acting like Nebraska fans. Imagine.
Yeah, the baseball intensity has always amazed me. That's why every year I try to, tweet out, fire the coach immediately before the season starts to get ahead of everybody else. I do think that there's this idea that because the College World Series is in Omaha, that Nebraska should be in the College World Series every year. I think there's that kind of attitude around the sport. Moving to the Big Ten certainly did not help the baseball program. Hurt it pretty badly, but we'll see what happens with the Pac-12. I don't know if those guys are going to make that big a difference. Tony Altimore is a guy who posts a lot of statistics stuff on Twitter, and I think today he posted attendance records for baseball, and Nebraska is obviously the only Big Ten team that is even close to attendance anything in baseball. And, I think what did you see that, Greg, that graphic?
I did. As most people would imagine, dominated by SEC schools. I think Nebraska was 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Gosh dang, averaging about 5,000 a game. So here it is.
Oh, what else they did? They did a nice tribute to Greg Sharp, which
I saw that.
Greg Sharp is a really good guy, and obviously he has the voice of the Huskers, and he's been doing this a long time. He's been a joy to listen to in person. He's a very nice guy. But I kind of looked at it, and I think Aaron commented on it. It's kind of like, why are they doing this? Because I don't know, just kind of, God, I hope he's doing well. Yeah.
Yeah. And Aaron says no one's gotten hit off a Husker pitcher wearing a Greg Sharp patch that they debuted. That's a Sharp hat.
That just gave me goosebumps. Wow. I think it's great.
You see all the SEC schools in there. That's pretty. I mean, the SEC kind of owns baseball in a way. I wish that would change.
Won't let me be, or let me be me. So let me see. Try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Okay.
That's Eminem, like old school, 20-something-year-old ago Eminem.
Was it he
rapped every once in a while? Every once in a while, Greg just raps for us.
Yeah.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
The things you missed, John.
Yeah, I guess so. You know what I didn't miss was all the country music they played at Haymarket Park.
Oh my
goodness. That damn new urban country, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Guys, are we going to talk about Zach Bryant calling?
No,
Who's Zach Bryan?
that's what I want to know.
Oh,
I'm having a
really?
stroke. Slim Shady.
Who is Zach Bryan? Is he one of those urban country people that sings about like
Yeah, only he's way
$90,000
better.
pickups?
Yeah, but he's way better. He has like more like I would consider him more like orchestra country. Like he has like really good musicians.
Okay, does he have a
And-
steel guitar? Is there a warning?
Oh, I'm absolutely. You can't have country without a steel guitar.
You're placating me, aren't you?
No, it's true.
Okay.
He's really good. He is. But you know, Rule got on stage with him in Omaha.
My
at a
God, this
concert.
man is everywhere. Is he even recruiting? Is he coaching? What is he doing?
He is, because I think there must have been a few players and some recruits there with him, because Mr. Dylan Raiola also got on stage.
Whoa, time out. You're way off format.
But I forgot about it.
That's fine. That's perfect, actually. That's ideal.
Did I? I'm sorry. You didn't tell me there that you had a format too.
My format is less DR.
I know.
We haven't even got to that point yet.
I know. It's just fun. I like that penalty. All right. Before we get to, there's more stuff even before we get to the football. But we got to do a little bit of housekeeping, right? And it's a great time for me to remind you, especially if you are over hanging out with us on YouTube, to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that little ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling bell for notifications so that you know every time we drop a new live stream link, or when John's dropping his great college football history videos, his toilet room videos, bathroom videos, his Hugh Hefner robe videos,
Those are my favorite.
his
Favorite.
bearskin rug in front of a fireplace videos.
No, he has tree hugging videos.
I'm just waiting for him to pay attention.
He has his
There he is.
video.
All the videos, all the John you want, and probably more. And everything else here at CornNation, the 5 Heart Podcast, the Monday Night Therapy, Husker Heat. Believe next week or the week after, when Hoss and I start reviewing the 2023 season, those videos. So make sure that you do all that you're supposed to do over on YouTube. And as we mentioned, John's got a book. John's got a book, and you should buy it. Actually, he's got 3, but that's the only picture that I have. It's the only book of his that I have. And since he's here, we haven't shown this graphic in a little while, but eventually we're going to have to reschedule our watch along.
Oh my God, we are.
That is so great.
That
That
is
should be on.
terrifying.
I wish that could be on a t-shirt. I would so buy that t-shirt.
I think probably have to replace all the faces with
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's
various
replace them.
CornNation personnel.
Yes.
Then have to change some of the lettering.
I can
Not
see
saying it.
God.
What's the matter, John?
I was looking up Zach Bryan. It looks like he looks like a guy that tries too hard.
No,
He
I know.
probably is.
I know. But, you know, there's this. He doesn't, guys. He's actually
Okay.
really good. Because I have a thing too, like just any country singer who says they're country. Trust me, like you have to actually be good, and he is. I'm telling you. He
Okay.
sings a song called "Smoke Show," something or other. Oh,
Aaron Keene says that John actually pulled up his MySpace page and was distracted. Highlander Gun says it should be called Yingling Guns. That's awesome. That's great.
I was actually listening to Zach Bryan music there for a few minutes.
So you
Oh
tuned
my
out the show
gosh.
completely?
Yeah, I did. I heard no steel guitar whatsoever.
Okay, pull up the Oklahoma Smoke Show song. That's
Whoa.
the name of it.
We're not going to do that because we're in the middle of a show.
Okay, we're in the middle of a show.
Sorry.
Like, I'm not going off and listening to other music or anything else. All right. I'm here. I'm in the moment. Okay.
He's in the moment.
Yes.
All right. Returning to, oh, by the way, all the other social media, make sure you find CornNation, 5 Heart Podcast, etc., etc. Returning to the format.
Format.
The format.
This, John. I know you saw it.
She actually printed it out on her end. I didn't even do that.
Jesus.
She had
Okay.
last week. She said she had 9 to 10 pages of notes that she had to condense down to 1 page.
I wish you knew. You guys, look at this. Look at all these. And then
Only the finest red ink for Go Big Red.
this. And then I print out, okay, 2023's game stats, 16 pages. 2024 game stats, 16 pages. I have notebooks. I have rosters. I have a whole thing going on here.
Don't want to have happen here.
What?
We don't want your family to have an intervention. And take
Oh, they
the
won't.
away. So just, maybe keep the stuff hidden a little bit. I don't know.
You know what I bring to the show?
What do you bring? Beer.
A few Yinglings and my award-winning personality.
There you go.
That's right.
You know who we're missing tonight? The official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, Mr. Living in Omaha himself, David Matney. So
Where is he?
I don't know, but since I'm drinking beer, I feel obligated to mention his name, and that, hey, just like we're in our homes, coming to you in your home, if you're looking for a home in the Omaha area, look out for Living in Omaha, David Matney. Find his YouTube channel.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to basketball.
Basketball.
Round ball, hoops, whatever you want to call it. It was announced today, or we were notified, that Mr. Rank Mast is going to take the year off for a little bit of knee work. Here's I can't read that anymore, but there's his announcement, basically saying, most of you know, I played with a knee injury most of the season, and after talking to several doctors, it's been determined I've decided to take the year off, have the surgery. I'm going to medically redshirt the 2024-2025 season and come back stronger after that.
The beginning of this says, this past season was one of the most fun years of my life. Thank you for taking me in and giving me another place that feels like home. You know, that's a really nice start.
I agree.
It's really, plus he was fun to watch.
He was.
He was.
You know, for a guy that size me, he was very comfortable out behind the arc. Pretty well rounded. Admittedly, I had doubts that because he was coming from the Missouri Valley Conference from Bradley, and I said, how is that going to translate to the Big Ten? And I think he held his own. I mean, I really think that. There you can see he has the brace on his knee. I think if I go back to this picture, if you look at that left knee, I think you can see like a scar. I don't think this is going to be his first knee operation that he's had.
Who knows what Nebraska basketball is going to look like next season? I guess, that's a ways off. It's after football.
Husker flags flying at half mast is what Husker Chuck says. We appreciate the pun. Now, to his credit, Fred Hoiberg has gone out and found some size to replace Rank Mast, and we heard of one of these commits today who's a Lincoln native. He played a year of JUCO ball at Southeast Community College, and that is Justin, I believe, Bolus. And Robin Washut said, so Southeast Nebraska Community College, former Lincoln High standout. Let me get it. There we go. So that's him, obviously from Southeast. 15.5 points per game, 8.7 rebounds per game, 1.4 assists per game as a freshman, 3 seasons of eligibility. He's 6'9", and he is N.
Okay.
There was another one. Another big, 7'1" guy that signed?
Yeah.
I don't have that one in front of me. I apologize.
It's okay.
I ran out of time. So Fred Hoiberg, again, I probably went out looking at these guys in continuing conversations with Reg Mast, if I had to guess, and said, all right, if we're going to be down to big guy, we need to get in more big guys. So I think to Hoiberg's credit, that's recruiting the need, right? I mean, they did a great job.
A 7'1" guy.
1 year of eligibility left from Washington.
Shit.
Oh my goodness. That's insane. And you don't have a picture of him, Greg?
I'm sorry. I failed.
Wow, she's so
7'1".
demanding. She is so demanding.
I'm working on it. You
Hey.
just talk about your favorite topic for a minute, and I'll have that picture.
Oh, what do you mean? Like this one?
I don't know. I can't see that one. What's that?
It says nobody is beating Nebraska in football in 2024.
Is that in the format?
Oh, Big Red.
Is that in the format?
No, I mean,
in the format.
Chatterfields are always for open.
Braxton, meh. Braxton. We'll just call him Braxton.
He was University of Washington's top shot blocker and Pac-12 all defensive honors in 2022-2023. And I've got a picture. Give me just a here we go. It's uploading. It's there we go.
He looks too nice a guy. I hope he turns
does.
into an asshole by the time he's playing for us.
Well, with fans like us, it's probably likely to happen.
Yeah. You know, I
If
hope
he watches you,
yeah.
John, if he's watching you, I'm sure he'll be fine by the time he's playing for us.
I want to see him in a Husker uniform with blood coming. It's like, yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I want.
Rostovsky says not a lumbering 7'1" guy. He can run and jump, just not the best hands. So,
Oh.
and because I didn't have the picture, Fred says 5 more mini minuses for Greg. So,
Yep.
sorry,
Marking
everybody.
that down.
Yep. keep it total. I just want to make sure at the end of the show, did I pass? Like, do I have a 70 or above? So,
What would happen if you failed?
like, I'll come back next week and try better, teach. Like, what do you think? I'm going to leave my show?
I was going to say.
I mean, you're going to have to try real hard to get me off this damn show. This show pays me.
He did. John gave me admin rights, so I think I could
did.
probably.
Probably what, Minnie?
Yeah, what, Minnie? My God. Holy shit. What have I done? Okay, what's next? What's on the format? What's next?
Well, according to my notes here, transfer portal news, we had 2 football players who have jumped into the portal. Linebacker Chief Borders, guard Raquan Buckley. Borders entered on Tuesday. Buckley hit the portal today.
Well, I don't think he hit the portal today.
Is that not, or the news hit today? I'm sorry.
Yes, because the portal closed 2 days ago.
Fine. We just found out about it. Son of a bitch. You wonder why I fucking drink so much on the show.
But okay, so I was thinking about this. Chief Borders,
Yeah.
you know, MJ Sherman was made a team captain on Saturday. You know,
Okay.
they changed captains every game. And I just wondered if that might have had anything to do with it. Because, I mean, he played.
He
Chief
did, but
did.
obviously he looked at what was going on with the spring and said, I'm probably not going to get on the field as much as I want to. And there you go. We have a lot of players.
We do.
So,
We do. For him to leave.
The one that everybody shit themselves over was Malachi Coleman's Twitter thing that said something about new beginnings, and everybody just fucking freaked out.
I know. And I'm like, are you kidding? No way. There's no way he would leave. He's such a good.
That's what's going on. Sorry.
He was doing all of these events on Saturday, like chai for Mackay or something like that, Malachi. All these events with foster kids the whole weekend. So he's giving back to the community, and he's really into it. He's a good kid.
Yeah. I need to get his book. I don't have it yet. I have 3 kids. They one of them reads, and he likes to read to the other 2, and eventually, hopefully, the other 2 will learn how to read one day, and they should have that book.
They should. That would be good.
More Nebraska, less of everything else. That's what I say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fred says the overreaction about Coleman's tweet makes me hate the internet. Minnie almost slashed a tire, but then she saw follow-up tweets. I heard that.
Oh, come on, Fred. It's fun. It's fun. You just people shitting themselves, setting their hair on fire. As long as it's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would happen if Fred entered the transfer portal?
Oh, gosh. I think I would lose it.
He comes in here one night and says, I really appreciate
I'm going to Iowa?
No, I don't know about that.
Oh.
Really appreciate Greg and John and Minnie when she's nice, which is not too often. But I'm going to explore other opportunities and enter the transfer portal.
I'd be wounded.
Yeah, I'd take that personally, Fred. Oh, look who decided to join us.
Hey.
Josh Hansen finally makes it 51 minutes in. Oh, and this bromance continues. Josh says, Fred can't enter the portal. I signed him to an exclusive NIL. None of us need to know the details of that arrangement. Do you understand?
Yes. It's legally binding.
So, all right. So I think that's the only transfer portal news that I have. Am I missing anything, boss?
Is leaving. Yep. Nope. You did good.
Yes. I mean, there were a couple of walk-ons who were heading out too, but no offense. I'm not going to count that. And this is great.
No,
Joe,
no, it's not. No, it isn't.
Why not?
Okay. Why?
I like Little Red. I love Little Red. I think he's one of the coolest mascots in sports.
First of all, did you say Little Red?
That Little Red, whatever yeah, it's close enough. What are you gonna critique my speech now, you shitbag?
You get it right or you pay the price.
Lil Red, one of the best mascots in sports. He's unique. He's fun. The kids love him, unless they're terrified. There's no middle ground.
and he can bounce on his head and pull his nose.
Yeah,
inside.
he can bounce on his head.
How do you think? I mean, I know it's like a cheer person, but you think they do like a quick flip on the inside? And so many questions about how he ends up on his head. I'm baffled.
Maybe we'll find him and interview him.
He must practice.
See, he's standing on his head. John is the champion of saying nil, but he can't say Lil.
Hey, some things are hard. Dad,
Lil, nil.
Lil,
Little.
Little.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. We're 54 minutes in, and we've got 36 minutes to finish up before we put a pin in it and pick it up next week with Hoss Reuter.
What do we have a time frame now?
John, you're old.
Yeah.
This show has for a couple of weeks now gone over 2 hours.
Oh.
And with respect to you, I figure if we try to cap it at 90, then you won't hate us and you'll want to come back next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, you're old.
John,
Move on. What's next?
Well, we're going to compare the 2023 and 2024 red and white games. For example, did you notice?
It was cold as shit in 2023.
That's true. He's right.
But did you notice?
But there were not any tornadoes. So, which would you rather have?
I did go to the stadium thinking, geez, one of those things comes right over here and sucks us all up.
I know.
No, I'm not past my expiration. Well, I might be. Some people just eat expired food and don't fucking worry about it. There you go.
Melissa firing live rounds.
Holy shit.
Melissa. Hmm.
Okay, what were the
oh,
differences? What were the differences?
Well, okay, so
We-
the first thing that bugged the heck out of me, and I'm sure it bugged the heck out of you being a fan in the stadium, is there weren't any names on the jerseys this year. So unless you're sitting there with, this in your hands, right? A roster, 20-page roster, who's playing? Even the announcers were getting the players' names wrong.
Well, that's because they were sitting a lot of top tier guys.
Yes, but they would
So
call
the second tier guys aren't worthy to have their name on their jersey?
No.
No.
What names? I mean, come on. Who's number 15?
But
I
he
don't
wasn't on the field.
Who's number 15?
Malachi Cole. Oh,
Oh my God!
Raiola. Yes.
Holy shit!
I know.
Who's number
Malachi-
10? Who's number 10?
Okay, but that
Double A
doesn't
Heinrich
matter.
Harburg.
Who's number
Those
10?
don't matter because okay, that's the other thing. That was
Tommy
Tommy
Frazier.
Frazier was number 15 too. Who's number 10, Minnie?
Melissa's loving this.
Harburg. Oh my gosh. Okay, Heinrich Harburg. But
number
here's
10.
the thing.
Okay. Who's number
Here's the
12?
thing.
Eric
But that
Martin.
doesn't matter because they were wearing green jerseys. So they were already differentiating them from last year.
Number
Last year,
23.
the quarterbacks were not wearing green.
Number 23.
Dante Dowdell. Excuse me. Okay.
This
seriously,
is
you want
this is
to-
just
you can
a
quiz me all you
river.
want because
This is a river of comments not owning, but yelling at Minnie.
I
Oh shit,
know.
Minnie, Dylan's
That's
fiend.
because he was in a green jersey. I don't really count that because honestly,
Okay.
I wonder if he's going to change his number come the season.
Why?
Like if he gets a single digit.
I mean, realistically, why isn't Tommy Frazier's number retired?
Yeah, that too.
Well, yeah, there's only one number that's ever been retired, ever. You can't retire numbers. You can retire jerseys, but you can't retire numbers.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Good call. Good question. Moving on.
Okay, so the first touchdown, for instance, was given to a defensive player by the announcers. They said, "Oh, that's Elijah Judy." No, it wasn't, because the numbers were not on. The names were not on the back.
I'm thinking that if you're sitting all the way up in the press box, here's what happens. In the press box, normally you have somebody over the intercom reading who's doing what. And that person usually does a very good job. I know they probably moved the jerseys around. I don't know if it would have helped anybody to have names on the jerseys that far up. But I am old and my eyes are old. Just before anybody else mentions that.
It
But
would
I
have
think that there were people were wearing duplicate jerseys and stuff like that. Like, I believe it was number 23 that was injured, and I thought it was Dowdell, but it was Bly Hill, wasn't it?
Bly Hill, yes.
Yeah.
But he was playing defense.
Right.
So that's the
But
difference.
he can wear a 23.
Yeah, you can have a 23 on offense and defense.
Joe Liliakis says, keep in mind, it wasn't until the early 80s the names were finally put on the jerseys.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah. You know
And
why that is? You know
Knowledge.
why that is? Because people were just like laser focused on their football team and knew every number by heart.
I love
Yep.
that.
Do you believe it?
No. I love the idea, though. I love the idea. Good idea. But even, okay, guys, so there's this 16-page printout where you can get the team statistics for the red and white game.
Okay.
2 players got credited with receptions. AJ Rollins and Cam Lenhart. And-
Cam Lynn, he could have made a reception.
No.
Yeah. Why do you hate
Minnie,
defensive players?
it's a spring game. Come on.
It drove me crazy. I'm sitting here and I'm with my DVR rewinding it. And I'm like, that's not Cam Lenhart. Dang it. Okay, so we'll move on.
We're gonna get you in touch with the people that run the press box area, and you can give them the what's for.
That's right.
Holy shit! Look at that glare. The woman, the flash eyes thing. How many men have you melted alive in your life?
Come on.
Real quick, while we're talking about numbers and jerseys, Josh Hansen says, did we talk about Deion taking his players' Twitter handles off their jerseys and replacing them with the transfer portal URL?
You know, that guy, I think that if you're a college coach of an FBS program, even one as shitty as Colorado, I think it's really poor taste of you to go on social media and tear people down that are your players or former players. It really is. It's just shit. And then you hide behind this, facade of this is the truth and blah. I hope we beat the fuck out of those guys by 80 points. And I'll tell you this, if we play Colorado, number one, obviously we shouldn't lose to them. If we play Colorado when we're still not playing first team people when we're up by 45, I'm going to have an issue with it. Because fuck those people. That guy's not just a disaster. He's an ass. And people are making excuses from him. And that it's a trashy way to run a program. Okay, that's my bet.
I agree.
I could go on.
Any more?
Tiger Shark Diver is here late, but hopes John doesn't ground me. What we have learned, TSD, is that John's not the one to be feared around here anymore.
No.
TSD is late. I will write that down.
Yeah, we're giving out we're demerits, but we're calling them mini minuses. So it's just our hope from the fairy pod mother that we all have a passing grade at the end of the show.
Can I make a comment about that?
Okay.
Term, that name?
About what?
You didn't like Pod Mom, but Fairy Pod Mother, you're going to complain about that now?
I'm okay with that. But here's why. And Roll hit it on the nail. In his press conference right after the game, he said, I'm not thinking of these guys like I'm their father, like they're my sons. It's more like they're my brother, my little brother. And that's the thing. I relate to that because I don't want to be anyone's mom except for my own kids. Like, I just want to be like your sister, for instance. Can we just change it to Sister Minnie or something?
Sister Minnie. Okay.
The only way we can do that is if you show up next week in a full habit. It can be red and white. Like, it could be, the appropriate colors.
Husker appropriate.
But yeah, then we will call you Sister Minnie. That's right. And Richard knows exactly where I was going with that. Sounds like a nun. Fred says, I hope Dylan isn't Minnie's little brother. That'd be hot. That's shameful.
Too much.
Oh, well, this makes me sad. For those of us who've lost our mothers, I wanted Minnie to adopt me.
Oh,
wow.
No, come on.
That went
so guilty.
That went sad. Real
Of
quick.
I'll adopt you.
Okay. I guess that makes TSD our collective nephew.
Okay, we're going. This was not in the format. There's nothing about this kind of weird family shit going on in the format.
All right. So let's break quickly. I'm going to rip through some of these comparative statistics this year or last year to this year. So in 2023 spring game, Nebraska had 8 fumbles. 2024 we had 1. In 2023 we had.
You can't just rip through that one. Okay. That's the biggest thing of them all. 8 fumbles.
You probably should have put that
versus
one last
one.
then.
Well, I put it first because generally you lead with the most important thing, Greg.
Well, then I'm sorry. I thought we were lightning rounding these because John's old.
Okay.
John's old.
Well, I would say that is the biggest takeaway from the spring game.
You think so?
Well, yeah. I mean, overall, I would say so. I'm not, because I get blamed for being Dylan obsessed. So let's just put that aside. Of course, that's still going on. Besides that.
John, read that comment from Josh.
Josh says, new shirt. This was not in the format, you shit asses. Did I say that? I probably did.
I mean, you said it's not a format, but you say shit asses all the time.
I do.
You
that's a
and
good
Matt
insult.
Rule say that. You're the only 2 people I've ever known to say that word.
Shit ass?
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't know
not
Matt
a
Rule said
word.
How is this not used more often? It's not, it's not something you can be sued for. Those are the words I try to prefer to use. Words you cannot be sued
Weird word.
for. Shit ass?
Yeah.
I called my dog a shit ass this week. I don't feel bad about it.
What? Greg, you too?
Yeah. Now, it's not all her fault. A lot of it is also my son's fault, my oldest son. God bless him. He's 8 years old. And, he's house trained, potty trained. But he sometimes forgets to flush when he's done. And the dog, who was doing dog things, was drinking out of the toilet.
What? That wasn't in the format either.
It got brought up. We started talking about shit ass. It's Joshua's fault.
Okay, we were on the spring game and fumbles.
Miley Ketterson says she needs a shirt that says shit ass now.
Yeah.
By the way, you can check out Miley and Andy on Husker Heat on Tuesday nights here on the CornNation channel. So
okay, let's go back. That was the biggest difference between last year's spring game and this year's. You think 8 fumbles?
Yeah, but don't you want to know when we've heard Roll use that word?
Okay.
I don't care about shit ass else, man. You go out there. It's the brotherhood. Remember?
So he used it as an adjective.
Yeah.
where John uses as a noun.
I don't want you thinking about shit ass else, man. That's exactly how he screams it. To shit ass else, man.
Usually a noun. Shit ass is a noun for me. It's a thing. It's an object.
It's usually an insult.
Okay. Spring game. Biggest thing from last year to this year, you think it's fumbles. Okay. Greg?
I think it's oh my gosh, mine's much more broad. Come back to me. I want to go last on this one.
One of the teams threw for 359 yards. They threw the ball all the time. They threw it everywhere. They threw it up. Oh,
I would say,
God.
I like the format.
I went to this spring game to see one thing and one thing only, and that's some guy wearing 15 wearing a green jersey. And that son of a bitch was smooth. That's what he was.
Allowed to call him that.
One word, smooth. Everything he did was freaking smooth. Maybe once he did some kind of weird move or it was jerky, but most of the time, smooth.
Smooth.
And you know what? I'm sure we'll have Hoss on next week, and he'll comment those screens to the side and the screen passes he threw. Oh my God! Those plays should be really easy. The outside screen passes, they should be easy to execute. But Nebraska hasn't had a quarterback that could execute those fucking plays. I don't know when. And you watched those plays and you went, God, if we can do that, I don't know. The other thing is the middle screens, when the offensive line has to act like they're blocking just long enough for it to fake the defense. The quarterback has to wait just long enough to get the defensive line coming into him and then get the ball over their heads. The running back has to fake a block just long enough for everybody to think he's not coming out. And they were in a spring game, first time executing some of that stuff, and it didn't suck. And if they can execute some of that stuff to that level, holy shit, this offense can explode. You know, there's a lot of shit going on in screen passes. The coordination to the offensive line, the quarterback, the running back, or the wide receiver, the tight end. They threw the ball all over the place, and I just thought, wow, I'm out of breath. If we can execute even 1/10 as well, this offense is going to be so much further ahead of what it was last year that we won't swear at Marcus Satterfield nearly as much. But I think that, Dylan Royola just looked like a guy that belonged on a college football field, and really what he should have been doing is attending his senior prom. And that was just fascinating to me. So I guess earlier when you were talking about players and numbers, I was like, I knew one. That's the only one. And then Dowdell, I thought he looked like a little shit ass. That's what he looked like, a little shit ass. He looked like a little bowling ball type guy that could disappear behind a giant offensive line and just run, big thighs. I'm kind of excited to see him play. There you go. I got all excited.
Awesome.
Now I'm old. I'm going to just lay down.
All right. You do that. I'm going to hit a few comments here. James Borman and Josh Hansen both kind of on the same page. James says receivers actually blocking on the screens for a change.
Yeah.
Josh said those screens where he actually hit them, plus with the size we have at blocking wide receivers, is going to be a game changer. Let's see. Quarterback play in general, turnovers and hitting wide receivers. Also, Jalen Lloyd's over-the-shoulder catch. Vince Watson says, CornNation shit asses sounds like a Thursday night bowling league team. And a super chat from Drake Bennett Westfield for $4.99 says, truthfully, I hate the Cornhuskers, but I love the show and the personalities. You all are so much better than mainstream shows. Well, that's because we get to say things like shit ass.
Shit ass.
And drink beer on the show.
Yeah,
but he also said he hates the Cornhuskers.
Well, it's okay. We can have haters.
Yeah, I mean, if he's giving us $4.99, he can say whatever he wants to say. I don't care.
Yeah, he can.
We'll always take their money. By the way, John, I don't know if you know this or not. You owe me $20.
What did happen?
A couple weeks ago.
Actually, I'm host, so you kind of need to split it with me.
No, because Dave Matney did a $20 super chat for my beer fund.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I'll get you that when they get your T-shirt to you.
Great. So never, it seems like.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to run down the rest of these, Greg?
Melissa says,
what are we running down?
I
think she meant okay. Like really good, because he's improved a ton.
I agree. And he's no Brody Belt. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, look at that. They go back to that comment. Alex Bullock looked okay. Here's the thing with Alex Bullock. Alex Bullock was one of our top receivers last year. He's probably fifth this year. He's literally, they brought in guys. He's probably the fifth receiver on this team this year.
Okay.
You look at Nayor Banks,
Coleman, Lloyd.
Banks didn't make any catches.
Right, but he's that doesn't matter. He has production. Production matters. When you come into a team and you have production from your previous team, normally you can expect to see that production. Plus, isn't Banks the guy that's like 6'4"?
Yeah, that's the one you were so high on.
Yeah.
He's huge.
But
you can't go change your tune now, Minnie, just because
I'm not.
Just because your favorite running or quarterback didn't target him as much. All right, don't take it out on Mr. Banks.
Plus, I don't think they weren't going to go. They played football, but they weren't going to go out and take some guys and beat the shit out of them. They lost two guys. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
Demetrius Bell was a guy who made a lot of noise, and Bly Hill was the one that rules said would be starting. So, they didn't
So
want to beat
again,
everybody up. But
John
let's say
is
Banks,
jumping
Nayor,
ahead.
Thomas Fedoni looks like he's ready for ass kicking. That's what he looks like. That's what I thought. Because he looks like he's got kind of, he knows where he's going. Last year, he looked like he didn't know where he was going half the time. And I don't think he did. But this year, he looks like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Give me the fucking ball. That's what,
and I'm going to say this.
Next year, we're going to see Thomas Fedoni get a big-ass tattoo that says, give me the shit-ass ball right on his chest.
And I think Fedoni's going to be playing with a little bit of his chip on his shoulder because I think he's ready to show what he can do. We talked about this in weeks past, but he was the top tight end in his recruiting class, and the guy who was number 2 or 3 just got drafted in the first round from Georgia. So I think Fedoni's ready to prove that that wasn't a fluke rating coming out of high school. So very excited, and let's knock on wood that he remains healthy.
Fedoni, somebody asked how many years does he have left? So he is going to be a junior this next year. And with the COVID years, I think you can play up to 6 years, right?
Yeah, but if he redshirt junior?
Oh gosh. Has he played all the years that he's been there?
I don't think so, because I know he was injured the first year.
Get a medical red shirt for 1.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Well, let's see. Demetrius Brell probably would have been in front of Bullock if he didn't get hurt. Jalen Lloyd is going to be, Lloyd, right? Yeah, Lloyd, the burner. He caught that long pass. You're going to see hopefully, the Thompson to Trey Palmer connection, making people weep on opposing teams. That's what I see that as. Janaran Bonner, excellent plays from him.
Excellent.
I agree.
Nayor and Banks, maybe not 5th, but Alex Bullock I think is a good player, but I think he's still going to be. We have a lot of receivers that.
I was going to say it's a good problem to have. We actually have some depth and some ability, and we didn't even mention Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Again, a lot of got some good talent coming back, and some experience as well. So let's see. Let's take a look at some of these other statistics because I got stopped on number 1. But interceptions last year, 2 interceptions this year, 0. We had 1 intercept, 2 interceptions, 0 yards. There was one that went right through the receiver's hands.
I knew it. You were going to mention that.
Yeah, but I didn't blame him for it, did I? It just.
Actually, you did.
The one ball behind a guy, and then the other one, the receiver should have fought for the ball.
True. Thank you, John.
Basically, the defensive back just basically said, "It's my fucking ball, motherfucker, shit ass." Bang.
Go ahead.
What?
Great.
Then there was
Aaron knows.
How have we been into this for like an hour and 18 minutes and nobody's brought up that 2-point conversion play?
Because we're not there yet.
We only started talking about football like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
All right. Last year, 2 rushing TDs. This year, 2 rushing TDs. Last year, 0 passing touchdowns with that.
Zero.
That's what I said. 0 passing touchdowns.
John 0 last year.
That's it.
0 last year.
And 4 passing touchdowns. This is where Minnie says it 18 times. 4 passing touchdowns this year.
I'm going to have to change my shirts, aren't I?
I'm
going to throw the fucking ball.
Oh.
Yes.
No, because I'm still waiting for my RTDB shirt, RTFB shirt. So it's all right.
Okay.
Let's see. We had 3 false starts last year, 5 false starts this year. Last year we had a few more fans in the stands. But I think last year we also weren't recovering from a tornado that just ripped through the area.
That's the thing. Yep, exactly.
We had now. I'm going to say it, and then Minnie's going to explain it. So in 2023, we had the focus on Coach Solich and Coach Osborne, and in 2024, we put the focus on recruiting. Right, Minnie? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Because last year we had Frank Solich. Remember, he was given the ball after the first play, and they painted his number 45 on the field, and then he went up and he talked to the announcers. But this year, Rule talked to the announcers, and he really did, I thought, a great job at being head coach and kind of, giving the plugs for Nebraska. They talked about the new weight room. They talked about all the facilities there, just how everything's top notch. So that was great. And there were a lot of recruits there, as we know.
Yeah, they did. They did introduce them all, didn't they?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they had them stand out. You guys, this is why you got to go to the spring game, Sister Minnie.
Yeah.
You got to go next week. You gotta be up there. Just to see them all. I think they were all standing out on the field. They introduced the soccer team. I can't remember all the shit they did on the field. I was way up. Like, the club seats where, nice people are. But yeah, I think it was recruits out there. Yeah.
Well, the reason I love the recruits being out there is because there's one recruit in particular that we talked about last week. Greg, do you remember talking about Bear Tenney?
Yes, I do. Recently committed.
Yes. You kind of didn't like his vocabulary, how he used me and Dylan.
Yeah.
Well,
he was grammatically incorrect.
Yes. So when he committed, I said, just like I always do, I like to go to Instagram. That's my social media choice. And I said, welcome to Husker Nation. We're so excited for you to be here. And I do this for everyone. And out of all the years I've been doing this, he's the only one who wrote back and thanked me.
Wow.
What a great kid.
As a general rule of thumb, I don't message or tweet at recruits. Because if he changes his mind, are you going to go back there and be like, listen here, shit ass?
Yeah.
No, but I just thought that was so sweet. So I looked at his Instagram a little more. And do you know this kid runs 21 miles per hour already?
That is like
that
a gazelle.
fast? Is that fast?
Yes.
I think
the fastest person in history has been like 26.7 miles per hour.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I hit 30 in high school.
Nice.
Running from the police.
The police.
The police. Oh, look at this. Fred Sacco. Oh, la la. John has club seat money, but can't send Greg one fucking shirt. Somebody gave me tickets up in the club area.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think the news headline that surprises nobody is that Minnie stalks on Instagram too. Gasp is what Aaron Keene says.
It's a good place to stalk young people if you're kind of doing that thing.
It's going to be on Dateline soon. I like that Roger. Roger's not as consistent in here. He's not in here. He pops in and then he pops out because he got a life. But appreciate the fact that he understands also that this is going to be on Dateline soon. This video right here, this is evidence.
What?
Evidence of what? I don't know what I'm doing.
Evidence of the why it's going to be like To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen.
Oh, this video.
This
Got
video,
it.
yeah.
I thought you were going to show us something.
I have no videos.
Okay. So should we move on to the quarterbacks, guys?
Oh,
what do you think about our quarterbacks?
Danny Dimes didn't look as sharp as Danny, but Heinrich Harbor, QB1. looked much improved from a year ago.
He did. I think last year, I think Heinrich started out the season fairly good. Keep in mind, he started, I think, all 5 games we won. But I think toward the end of the year, he was beat up and he was pressing and he was asked to carry the entire team basically on offense. And, I think it just wore on him, and he pressed and he pushed. And, I hope that he gets a lot of chances to play this season, not because of injury, for God's sakes, but he did look a lot better. Maybe the quarterback coach is helping him.
That's what Josh says. Minnie, go ahead and read this one from Josh.
Josh Hansen says, I also think a dedicated quarterback coach is going to be huge, which is why he literally is the most improved player from last year to this year. As soon as he would get off the field and go to the sidelines, Glenn Thomas was there. Good. What? He was giving him pointers.
Comment.
What's Fred's comment?
Harburg, the biggest and best surprise of the spring game. He threw the ball correctly, no sidearm. He was doing a lot of that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So, over the top.
He can throw.
Joe Liliakis agrees. First year HH has a QB coach.
So exciting. I'm so excited that we have these 3 quarterbacks. We are so blessed, and we're just going to have a great season.
Let's see. Josh says 13 different, he said relievers, but meant receivers hit by Dylan. Good sign also that Heinrich looks so much better. So,
when we start this season?
What?
Nothing.
Joe, by the way, this is the same Joe that has provided us some tremendous art for the show here, but Joe says Raiola certainly lived up to the hype in the spring game.
Yes, he did.
And Kim Hansen, I don't know if that's related to Josh Hansen, but says, just think if we started different quarterbacks in a rotation like baseball. I mean, we've talked about this in the past about, having different packages available for Heinrich, who, I think you might be a little more comfortable with Heinrich running the ball. Not that Dylan can't or Danny Dimes, but I think Heinrich, I don't want to say he's more expendable, but you don't want to risk a Dylan Raiola running the ball. So I want to make sure that's, saying that as properly as possible. So I was way off. I apologize, Joe.
Greg,
as an FYI, last name is pronounced Lilakis. So apologies. That's what I get for assuming all of the vowels.
Lilakis. I love it.
Or John said, or Josh says that John would call little Lakis instead of Lil.
You motherfuckers. Don't make me come over there. I'll kick your ass.
Are you?
Okay, who's show this? Me.
Stop it.
Do what?
Stop.
I'm going to revoke.
I wanted to say that Tiger Shark Diver's 81-year-old grandpa almost spit out his beer after Raiola's second touchdown.
Must not have been a Yingling. You don't spit out Yingling. TSD, what kind of beer does Grandpa drink? I'm very curious to know. Hopefully it's not something that's overproduced. Hopefully it's got some good flavor to it. Aaron Keene says Harburg improvement's really good news. We'll need him when Dylan gets hurt. No, not when. Damn it. If.
Yeah, what the hell's going on there? You blasphemer.
Keene.
Yeah.
Not going to take that.
Roger says it was a beer from Colorado. That's not good. So.
Nope.
What if it was the original Coors Banquet?
Then it would make Hoss very happy.
Yeah.
Hoss is a big Coors Banquet fan. I don't see it. Rostovsky says that Harburg needs to be in on some packages. Please reword that next time we have Fred around here. Get DR some rest and not beat him up so much. So,
the only thing I'm going to say, and I don't like pointing out negative things, but Harburg had a hard time completing the drive. Dylan was able to complete the drive. Not so much Harburg. He's still working on it. So, I mean, we still have a long ways to go till August. So
we do.
And he's, like I said, he's made a huge improvement in just a couple months.
Agreed. DR finished the game on Saturday, 16 of 22 for 238 yards and 2 touchdowns, only getting in 1 possession in the second half. I really did like the format of how it wasn't like no quarterback was assigned specifically to the red or the white team.
Right.
They could rotate them around and match them up with various linemen, various skill players. Harburg was 8 for 13 passing, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 17-yard run, which we would expect because that's what Heinrich liked to do last year quite a bit. And that's where I think dialing up some special packages for him next fall could be advantageous. And Danny Dimes, 9 for 16, 91 yards. I don't want to say the least impressive, but you've got, the crown prince of Lincoln, and then you've got Dylan Raiola ahead of you. So, you're going to run into situations where maybe you underperform. So
we have time. That's all.
Lots
of time.
Lots of time.
Mm-hmm.
We have time.
We don't have a lot of time because we are.
We did it.
Well, time out. We got some start. we got some starred comments, so we got just a couple more minutes. So I know, Minnie, I just want to make sure you already said this one when I was finding the picture of the basketball player. Perfect. The 2023 spring game.
Thank you for showing it again as a reminder. Nobody's going to beat Nebraska in 2024.
2023, by the way, this is also GRF. The 2023 spring game merited a John Johnson Classic review from the bathroom. This year's spring game merits a review from the Ritz-Carlton.
Ooh.
So,
how do you like that?
It's a little bougie.
I was gonna do the post game video from the club area, but they were kicking people out.
I believe that. Let's see. Melissa says,
really happy in your post game reaction. You looked pleased and happy. You were smiling, almost glowing.
Well, I mean, it was fun to watch, and then there was baseball. I love going to Haymarket Park. We were playing Iowa and beating the shit out of them.
Would you say he looked like Montgomery Burns? Excellent.
Wow.
Yes.
Melissa says 10-2 this year.
Wow.
Can I give a little tease to next week's show? Because after the game, and Hoss is like, I'm mapping this thing out. Oh, I can't wait to get on the show and talk about it. Let's see. Charting the spring game now. I'll put some thoughts together.
God.
What?
He's charting.
Yeah. Oh, he's excited.
He's charting. I'm formatting.
So this was Sunday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Like I hadn't even gone to church yet.
Wow.
But that's when after that he got sick. But he says also I legit think we win 8 to 10 or hit 8 to 10 wins this year. And since we should start 7-0, I'd be disappointed with only 8. And that's from Hoss. And Hoss is not usually nearly as optimistic as me. Melissa here says 10-2. It is way too early to get into our season predictions, so we're not going to yet. But I just got a little nudge of enthusiasm and optimism and excitement to hold you all over.
I screamed. I screamed a lot.
I believe it.
When we had our first interception, I screamed we were going to lose all the games, and then we had the second interception. I screamed we're going to lose all the games forever. But then we started scoring touchdowns, and it went from we're going to win all the games, and then we're going to win all the games forever after that. After that, Jalen Lloyd, you're blind. Did you notice at the end of that, after he caught the touchdown pass, he did the long jump thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
This nice homage to
triple
the track
jump.
and field.
Yeah.
Joe says 7-0 going into Ohio State. An upset win there leads to 12-0. 12-0 is just the beginning because then you got the conference championship game. Then you got the playoffs, and Nebraska is back. All right.
Yes.
And last but not least, make sure that's Aaron Rostovsky says, off topic, but if y'all aren't using bidets, get your life together.
Okay.
If you want to avoid the shit ass, get you a bidet.
I'll look into it tomorrow. Right there at the top of the list.
I believe it. John, I'm going to text you at 10 o'clock just to make sure that you've at least Googled it.
If he was really that into it, I mean, we need some Amazon reviews, Aaron, for God's sakes.
John.
What?
Are you going to put a bidet in your bathroom?
Why not?
What? I don't know. I don't
when
know
it's
what
too cold to go outside and we're celebrating, he can just do it like a little fountain.
Be like, this is actually, it's a new and improved bathroom.
Look at what? Oh, look at no shit ass. There'll be no shit ass and no more.
Gosh, Roger says, no wonder Todd left.
Oh, jeez.
Highlander Gun developed the
what
toilet
the hell
paper.
line is that? What is that?
What's going on Monday nights? What happened?
Well, you know what? On Monday night, I hope to have Matt Brown on.
Oh, we know him. He used to be our boss.
Yeah, and he's going to talk about EA Sports college football.
But what happened to Todd?
Well, he's gone.
Oh, I mean, he's not gone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's still writing.
Well, he is. He won't be doing live shows anymore.
Okay. All right. Work. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Garden hose running in through the window. That's what Vince says. That's your Minnesota bidet. All right.
Yeah.
By the way, Melissa likes Todd.
Okay.
She wanted you to know, and I wanted you to know. All right, that'll do it. We got out of here before 2 hours, and by golly, that's something of a miracle. And we couldn't have done it without the queen, the mistress of the formatting, Miss Minnie Hunt. Thank you.
Don't forget, we're gonna leave on one little picture note thing.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. Give me a minute. I had it. I got to find it again. Okay, I got it. We're good. Yes, I was instructed to put this picture up here before I say my final goodbyes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Leave everything on the field and you'll have no regrets. Matt Rule.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome. I apologize. I almost did forget. I had it loaded. I just forgot to, Okay. That is it for this episode of the 5. What, John?
Does that include poop?
No, that goes into the turlet, and then you got to put the turlet seat down so the dog doesn't come in and lick water out of the turlet.
Okay.
All righty.
Verifying.
Josh says if we die, we die.
I say that too. Rule says that.
Yeah, I think that's where he was going with that.
Mm-hmm.
For Minnie Hunt. There we go. Now, hands out for John Johnston. Right here. Quit leaning away. Greg Mahochko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast. We remind you each and every week, and we have been for almost 10 years now, that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. John?
Go Big Red, shit asses.
Oh, gosh.
Minnie?
Go Big Red.
And don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.